ever wanted to do was be a baseball player in this city.
Woo!
They say baseball is special in every other city. You know, Boston will say it's special in Boston, New York will say it's special in New York, but I really only know about Baltimore. I grew up here in Baltimore, and I know what the Orioles mean to us. And when I had a chance to be drafted, I was keeping my fingers crossed that I'd be drafted by the Orioles. And the only thing I've done during my whole career is try to conduct myself on the field and off the field like an Oriole should conduct themselves. I guess the streak's meaning is finally coming into focus. I never set out to accomplish this. This never has been a goal of mine, to play in this many consecutive games. And I think on one side of it, I think it's pretty inconceivable. But I know that from the support of my teammates, past and present, they made it a whole lot easier for me to go out there and play every single day. And I forgot to thank them last night, and I want to make sure I thank them publicly today. Thank you very much. What is this? At least I can blame them for losing my train of thought. What's that? You're gonna hold that?
News Channel 2 would like to present Cal with this microphone.
I was gonna say, throughout my whole career, there's been many, many high points, but there's been a few low points, few hard points to get through. I think there was times when I was hitting 200 at the All-Star break, or 200 after 300 at bats, and there was some talk 4 or 5 years ago that maybe I should sit down and not play in a game. And sometimes I was faced with a decision. I really had to look at myself in the mirror and say, you know, what have I been taught? What do I really believe is right? And what would the people of Baltimore want me to do? So I always came to the conclusion that I was going to go out there and grind it out, and I was going to play. And I couldn't have done it without the support of every one of you guys. This whole celebration has been pretty wild. As I said last night, I've been cheered in ballparks across the country as if I was a member of the hometown team. It's great to get support any way you can, but to be received in all those ballparks around the country the way you're received, like you're right here at home, is really special. I was going to say something and I forgot what I was going to say. That Channel 2 microphone got me again. Oh boy, I know what I want to say. I just remembered. Now I forgot again. There's been, all along in this streak and all along in this celebration, there seems to be said, this type of thing only happens in Baltimore. I've heard that on a number of occasions during the streak. And to me, it kind of hit me riding around in a parade today, you know, in celebration of a consecutive game streak. I looked around and I said, I don't think this would happen in any other city besides Baltimore. Baseball is special here. I always hold baseball in the highest regard. And even though I don't feel deserving of a parade in my honor, I think that it's really neat that that we all feel the way we feel about baseball, that we would come out today for that reason. And I really thank you. I guess in closing, I'd just like to go back and thank the people that really made a difference in my life. And I mentioned them last night in my remarks, but I can't talk about them enough. My dad. He's been my teacher. He's taught me how to approach. Is that mine? He's been my teacher, and I was very thankful to have him as a father for the time that he was here. I always say that I looked at him only as a coach or a manager, but I'm here to say that there's a lot of times I looked over at him and he was my father. Thank you to my mom. I got to be careful with this one, or I'll get all choked up. She was the one that carried me around, took me to all my Little League games. She taught me all those weird batting stances you see. She was the one to put her arm around me when I had a really difficult time. She was the one that kept me going back to the ball field, and she was also the one to celebrate some of my successes. Thank you very much, Mom. And to my wife, Kelly. I thought my life was pretty stable, just being into baseball and getting the opportunity to be a baseball player, but I had a little emptiness in my life that Kelly came along and fulfilled. I think I've become a much better person, and the influence that she's had on me has just been tremendous, and I thank her for that. And my son and my daughter. My son, who is sleeping, and my daughter Rachel, who looks like she doesn't want to be here. No, she, I don't know if I told the story, but she gave me that t-shirt that I wore last night in the game. And I think that she's just becoming old enough to understand, you know, everything that's going on. We try to keep things in perspective in our house. And she came to me yesterday and presented me with the shirt, and she wanted me to wear it under my jersey last night. And I think that was the reason that I came over and presented the jersey to my family, and to my two children, because I wanted to show off my t-shirt underneath. Oh, I think I'm talked out. I really think so. What about Eddie? Well, I don't know. Were you all at the game last night? Didn't you hear me talk about Eddie last night?
What about Billy?
You know, through the whole process, I really examined how and who I had become, and why I decided that it was important for me to play in all these games, or really why the manager wanted to put me in the ball game all these times. And through the teachings of my father, and the way that he taught me to approach the game, he told me it was important to go out there each and every day, to be there, you know, to be counted on by your teammates. And it wasn't until I got to the big leagues that somebody actually showed me, you know, what that was like. And Eddie Murray was that man that showed me what it was like to be in the lineup every single day. I think we forget about that because Eddie probably has played 99% of all games that he's been in the big leagues for. I have a consecutive game streak to show for it, but I think the same principles and the same values that I put on going out there playing every day, I know that Eddie approaches the game the same way. I don't know when this is going to end. I don't know when it's going to be time for me to move over. Maybe 3,000 games? I don't know.
Play till you're great.
I'm just going to go out and keep playing just like I have all these 14 years. I'm going to try to stay as young as I can for as long as I can.
Woo! Woo!
But it's getting increasingly difficult as we go along. Again, I'd just like to thank all of you, and I don't know. I wish I could put it into words and express the feeling. I know my wife, my family say that I don't really show my emotions that well, and I think, you know, when we turn the numbers on the warehouse in the 5th innings, if you look at me real close, you can tell that I don't know how to show my emotions. Yeah, I put the sunglasses on so you couldn't see the tears dripping out of my eyes. But I thank you in the words that I can only say by saying thanks. That's about the only thing I know. And I thank you by the way that I approach the game, the way that I love the game, the way that I love the city, and through my actions every single day. That's what I can do. Thank you.
Cal Ripkin. So much in the way of celebrating here in Baltimore, so much sentiment, so much heartfelt emotion, and it sort of came down to Earl Weaver getting us back into reality. When Earl threw out the first pitch to Cal the other day, big ovation, and then Earl asked Cal to sign a baseball for him, and Cal said, "What do you want me to put on it? You know, to Earl or what?" And he said, "Cal, just sign the damn ball." The Orioles now, ladies and gentlemen, are going to board the Pride of Baltimore 2, and they're going to sail to Cleveland.
Stay.